Traced it back to this whole thing. Everybody thought she was murdered, but it was like her way of committing suicide was to hire this guy to kill her.
Wow.
I'm thinking, okay, well, that could have been a motive. Like maybe he wanted to kill himself or was having some sort of paranoid something. Maybe he paid someone, hey, come find me. I don't know.
Maybe you don't bargain shop on people you want, to assassins to kill you, because I got to think there's a cleaner way to be killed than brutally beat to death. But, I don't know.
And then, of course, there's the shoe that was placed under his head.
It's very strange.
So was he being beaten and he was slowly dying, and did he grab his own shoe and like put it under his head like in his dying moments, or did someone position that shoe like a pillow? Because that's just such a weird detail.
Well,
and typically with murders where someone positions someone, a pillow under their head, or
position them to look like they're resting.
Want them to be like comfortable. Or, if you listen to our Charlie Lawson case, the Lawson family murders,
yes,
Charlie did the same thing. But it's like a care, a concern. It's this like attention to detail that I think a random murderer probably wouldn't.
Right, or cover the body
up. Take the time
up
to do that.
They can't look at it, or make them comfortable, like you said, put them in a natural pose, or put something under their head. That's very common.
And that almost makes me think that if it was a murder and someone did that it could have been an accidental, because you feel really guilty
remorse. Yeah,
about
that
what
does show remorse. Maybe. Are we solving this thing?
I don't know.
I think we just solved it. Can everybody
But
we're
then it
famous
just makes
now.
you wonder as well, like what the sexual assault was, the clothes
or was
that were
it sexual
off.
assault, or do you jerk that off just to fuck with the cops and throw them and have them thinking about sexual assault when it never was? What if it was a professional staging the scene to make it all weird and crazy?
Like a contract killer?
Like the people that was after him finally got his ass.
Like the mafia had like an assassin go after this guy?
And make an example out of him. I want you to beat him to fucking death with this steel bar my grandmother gave me.
Possibly, and in some of these crimes where someone's murdered and they're left in an embarrassing state like this.
Right.
Like pants off, naked, exposed. It's
awkward.
It's like someone wants to make an example of them, show that this person's done something that they're being punished for.
Yeah, so the article in the paper and on the news talking about how they was found all fucked up and jacked up with no pants on, and they think and they just run with
I mean, possibly it could have been something like that.
That could be a good example.
I mean, who knows? It's a really strange case, as I mentioned before we got started with it.
Blair Adams. Poor Blair. I'm not sure what was going on with Blair.
Canadian killed in Knoxville, unsolved.
But I feel bad for him, and it sounded like he was whatever was happening, we don't know. It sounded bad, and he was not happy or comfortable for days, maybe weeks, maybe months before he was brutally beaten to death for some reason.
This has been another episode of Mountain Murders. Don't forget you can find us on Patreon, and for a couple of bucks a month, you can get all kinds of bonus material, extra content, episodes, videos, photos.
Yeah, I was looking right quick about Patreon. We've actually got some content on there now, right? We got a few pieces. There's quite a few stories and kind of afterthoughts. Some are companion pieces, but there's getting to be quite a bit of content there.
Right, so if you just can't get enough of Mountain Murders, you can join up with Patreon. Of course, your money helps support the podcast.
Yes.
For as little as $3 a month. You're helping us out, keep the podcast alive, and also getting that bonus content, so you have some extra listening material.
Hours of content, some great pictures, and companion articles and things you put on there. I think there's some good stuff on there.
You can find us on Twitter under Mountain Murders, Facebook under Mountain Murders, and on Instagram at Mountain Murders Podcast. And of course, you can always hit subscribe and give us a 5-star review.
Can I say bye? You never let me say bye. Oh, okay. Bye, guys. I love you. And why did I say I love you? I really like you. I really, really, really like our listeners. Okay, she'll probably edit this out, and I will not be here. But bye, guys.
Now, this makes me think of a story. Okay, so one time I worked at this newspaper, and this guy had called me to complain that he didn't get a copy of his paper which was like always the least favorite part of my job when I had to answer the phone.
Wow. Who took the time to do that?
Oh, people would do it all the time.
Douches.
That was like, yeah, I would say the bulk of the phone calls that came into the office
Was complaints.
were people bitching that they didn't get their paper.
Busybodies.
And my favorite was always like the elderly people who would call and bitch that they didn't get their paper because they didn't know who died.
They've been waiting on that paper.
Yeah.
It's Monday and they don't get the paper.
Is that how you know you're old, when you're drinking coffee and reading the obituaries and that's like the highlight of your day?
So you can talk shit about who died.
I'm not even kidding when I say I would have elderly ladies. They were the meanest.
Yeah.
Mean old ladies. And they would say, I need to know who died. And yell at me.
Yeah, over the weekend. You talk shit and gossip.
Right.
Right.
So this guy calls me and he was being kind of a jerk, didn't get his paper, whatever. I was able to, make him feel better. Hey, we'll make sure they get you a copy, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We'll credit your account, whatever. After I'd made him happy and he was hanging up the phone, he was like, well, love you, bye. And I was like, you too, sir. And then he's like, oh, I didn't mean that. It was just really funny.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that on a call?
Yeah.
It kind of cracked me up because it was really like the first time I'd ever had someone do that.
Well, you say
any
it like
type of customer service type of job or something.
Yeah, it's like you don't even know this person. It can happen. You don't even know the person. It's like a habit, or like maybe you were thinking, or maybe you were recently talking to your woman or man, previously to that, and you throw it out there, and you're just like, or you ever thank someone who is thanking you because you're the one that did the damn thing?
Yeah.
They'll be like, thank you, and you'll be like, yeah, thanks, and you're like, why the fuck did I thank them? I'm the one getting thanked. I should have been like, you're welcome. And you're thinking that shit as you walk away. You totally fucked it up. But bye, guys. You're awesome. And tune back in for the next one.
And Dylan loves you.